If not, we could always rob a bank.
That was my next.
That was your next thing.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that.
There was
We have been wanting to do that.
we have been talking about doing
A
that.
lot. An uncomfortable amount.
There's a Chiefs super fan by the name of Chiefsaholic. His actual name is Xavier Michael Babadar. He is made famous by the fact that he wears a full wolf outfit, a full wolf suit to both home and away
I've
games.
seen this guy.
And he is a very famous one. Here he is. He's got Chiefs underwear on, along with a Chiefs shirt and hat, wearing a full wolf outfit. Well, he had been talking about going to the Chiefs and Texans game over the weekend, so a lot of people were expecting him to be there. And when he didn't show up, people started getting concerned. And it was because Mr. Babadar decided to take a bit of a pit stop in Bixby, Oklahoma, and decided, you know what, the NFL tickets are probably a little expensive. Gas, very expensive. In order to fund my lifestyle, let's go rob a bank.
A well-known fan just commits a crime. That's bold.
In his wolf costume.
Well, that was the
That's
thing, is that
bold.
as I was investigating this story last night, there were pictures that were surfacing of a man in a full wolf outfit robbing a bank, and that picture was from 2016, and it was like, okay, was that the same guy, or was this someone else? So it was kind of tough to put those puzzle pieces together.
This has got to be a frame job. I believe that
Yeah.
He's
Mr.
innocent.
Babadook
Babadar.
is innocent.
Yeah.
Babs would never.
But
I know Babs. Okay.
just pee break. Oh, there's a bank. They've always got nice bathrooms. Huh? They
Say how
also
much
have
he
a
got?
lot of money. And he was apprehended very
you mind
quickly.
if we just stop at the bank real quick? I just got to do something.
Just got to make a deposit?
I'll buy you guys lunch.
Make a deposit.
Yeah, lunch is on me. Just give me about 5.
Have you ever thought about robbing a bank? That's like
Duh.
the worst. But that's like the
Yes.
worst. Like, you're obviously going to get caught, right?
You'd be surprised. I think that there's probably a lot more successful bank robberies than you'd think. Like, what percentage of bank robberies do you think are stopped or the people are caught
I guess like
and the money is
the
recovered?
media gives the perception that every time
No.
a
Give a percentage, a realistic percentage. What do you think?
that are caught,
Yeah.
I would say 70 to 80% are caught.
I would say 20% are caught.
Are you looking it up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Think about also what are the chances that people who rob banks have high IQ?
Right.
And think about how many people rob banks and leave a fucking trail, and that's why they're caught.
Sure.
AKA somebody I used to work with robbed the Key Bank here locally.
Oh my god.
And you know how he got caught? Ask me how he got caught.
How did he get caught, Juan?
This
Magoo?
guy worked for a company in Dallas, Texas, moved to Portland, and robbed a Tiger Key Bank while wearing the hat of his former employer that was caught in the fucking security camera. So naturally,
Oh my
the cops
gosh.
called the company in Texas, tracked him down,
Yeah.
and arrested him. He got like $75,000 or something like that.
My gosh. And
That guy
what's the
doesn't-
penalty for that? Like, how long are you in jail for that?
I think he went to jail twice, like served 2 different times in jail, and then he was on probation. He couldn't leave the state. He's also a very scary looking guy. Like
Yeah.
not scared, but like his face was in shambles. But
It's really rough face.
he doesn't work there anymore.
I just like, okay, so you go into a bank, you say, give me all the money, right? Okay, so you get the money, and then what? Like, they lock the doors and you can't leave? Like, what is the next thing? Like, there's obviously, like, a security, like, there's so many, like, these guys are trained for this. Like, how many, like, how far down the line have you thought to the point where you can get away with this?
I talked to this guy.
Okay.
I talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
I got details.
About
Give-
what was
give us
going
the deets.
about
So-
what was going through his brain.
and how the whole thing was done. So, I mean,
Do tell.
in this one example, what we see in the movies is very Hollywood. No one goes in there, and no bank,
Give me all the
no
money.
banker, no employee has an easy button,
Sure they
whatever.
do. Of course they do.
Well, this one didn't.
Okay.
Apparently,
I feel like everyone's got
now
that.
I'm not saying that like they probably have some sort of warning thing, but when he robbed the bank, apparently a lot of employees in the bank are just taught
Just
they don't just give them
give
the
'em
money
Yeah.
because they're not gonna have access to like the real money. You know, they're there for whatever's in your till.
Yeah, which is
So,
a
like,
few $1,000.
Yeah, like the vault has the real money, and a lot of the big amount is not in that bank. So whatever you can get in the till, they're like, instead of putting anyone and yourself in danger, just give them the money. And he said it was very casual. If you look at because you can look up not only his mugshot, which is fucking insane, the security camera looking at him, he's just standing there in the front, and he said he just walked up and was like, "I'm robbing the bank. Give me whatever money you have." And it was like a very casual interaction where she literally just grabbed every bill around her and put it in his bag, gave it to him, and he walked out. Like, walked out. He didn't rush out. He just walked out.
So I wasn't able to find an exact percentage because the statistics are harder to find, I guess, for bank robberies. However, that it has been said that you usually can successfully complete about 2 to 3 bank robberies before you're caught.
Before they kind of get
Yes.
on.
That the success rate is at a point where you can usually get away with it. Because honestly, the only flaw in this guy's plan was that he wore a recognizable hat.
I mean, he was literally on Spike TV's Dumb Criminals.
Yeah.
You know,
Legit?
No, like
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
that's who you watch. Is like you,
Yeah.
get- you make a stupid move and there you leave a trail.
Yeah, because the thing, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, where people will hold up or they'll like try and steal from like a jewelry store or whatever. Those guys like have a little button that just like locks every door, and then like the person can't get out. But now you have an potentially armed person with you, which is never good as well. The paranoia that I would have if I were actually successful in it, gosh, I mean, I can't imagine the adrenaline going through me if I decided to rob a bank, number one, versus like, I don't know if I could sleep. I would just be so anxious. I would be so nervous about everything. And
That's why it's not people like you that would ever.
Yeah,
rob
you
a
wouldn't
bank.
be a good criminal.
would not
Pete.
be a good
I think we
criminal.
all know
I'm
that.
more curious about the number of bank robbers that come in armed.
Mhm.
Like this guy wasn't armed.
I'm sure that's a lot less than we think too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would err more on the side of more than half of them come in unarmed.
Do you think, and this is a random question, do you think that they think through the fact that if they were armed, that if they were caught, it's a more severe penalty?
And I think that's why
Probably.
that most people don't use a weapon when they rob the bank, because then it's armed robbery instead of just robbery.
Attempted
or
robbery
or
or
most of
robbery,
these
yeah.
people who rob banks aren't like they're not violent people. They're just their backs are
Desperate.
against the wall and they're desperate and they just want the money. And it's like if I get caught, I get caught, but I'm not out there to harm anyone or to
And-
to be in the position to like
And-
use my weapon.
Yeah, and Miguel's exactly right. All bankers are taught just give them the money. It's a small percentage of what we actually have,
You're
and
not going to
most
sacrifice
likely
a life.
we're going to be able to catch them. I mean, even if there's a 30% chance or whatever that we don't, it's like whatever. We lost $5,000. We'll get it back.
Yeah, I know. Like I had that house fire back in 2018, and then also, I've been involved in a couple of different house purchases with earnest money and flipping money here and there. I mean, like
Insurance.
it was weird enough for me to say like, hey, I didn't say can I have $10,000, but I think that like part of our earnest money or something like that, we needed to get $10,000 out, and it still felt weird even like legitimately taking $10,000 away from a bank. But
Imagine if you had to buy Hitler's cup.
Think about that.
Think about that.